like any kind of prospecting, like you got to get your energy up. And when we are in class, I do this exercise, and I know it's not going to have a lot of effect here, but I get everyone to stand up, and we all make fools of ourselves for about 30 seconds, right? And you get enthusiastic, and you start doing enthusiastic motions, and you start like, boy, am I enthusiastic, right? And I know you got, look at David, he's cracking up laughing. He goes, "Oh, think I'm funny," but I'll tell you right now, this doesn't go away as easily, and people can hear that on the phone, and they can also sense it in their energy. And like, okay, so now I look like an idiot in front of you guys, but now I'm like not really afraid to say the wrong thing. I'm really feeling like I'm enthusiastic, and that's what people want to see out of us. They want to see that you're passionate, energetic, attractive energy. So you better be enthusiastic when you first meet someone. The first 5 seconds of that conversation, either they like you, they want to know more about you, or Eeyore showed up at the door and hoping they could maybe work with me, but I don't know if I have enough energy to get back to my car, right? So how do you guys want to be first received? So you gotta do these activities, and maybe right before you get on the call, Hiroshi does a thing. I don't know if he's on the call, but he'll go, you have muscles in your mouth. Try doing that. Everybody put a pen in your mouth, and it actually like starts to hurt a little bit. Your teeth naturally smile. So he forces himself to smile, because that kid can't smile. No, I was kidding. But he actually does it on purpose to like create. And if I just did that, I can actually feel the muscles in my jaw are smiling right now, like they're tight. So hold it for 10 seconds. So that's a little trick you can do. Yeah, whatever it is to get you guys like the energy up. I'm excited. I used to do like a couple like big hops to the door, like big, energetic, powerful strides, right? Whatever that looks like. But you guys know what the power pose is? Stand on your hands, like your chest out, hands on your hips, like superhero, right? That's, you walk in the room, you stand like that, and everyone's like, Superman, right? So these are little tricks, but they do work, and it's all about energy. It's all about enthusiasm. So you have to find ways to get that level up quick.
And I do the Superman thing, like when I walk into the room with the wife, and it doesn't always work, Chris. Just saying.
It's because the no pants all cape look is out this year.
Yeah. Hey, one thing to try, Dylan. One thing that I usually do as well is when you're on the phone with someone, stand up. Honestly, it makes a huge difference. Instead of sitting down at the phone, stand up, and you just it comes from the diaphragm. You talk a lot better. You're more confident, and speak as if they're right in front of you, right? It's just an easier way to deliver and get the message across. So yeah, my wife hates it, but I mean, I'll be walking around the house on the phone and stuff, right? Trying to call people.
You're absolutely right. You're projecting your voice when you're sitting over and hunched over. It actually kind of sounds like you have no energy. Yeah. But it also, the reality is when you're walking, if you're taking steps, your brain is thinking, okay, I got to go solve a problem. I have to talk to this person. I have to help, and I have to like be active and take action. So your brain's going, okay, I need to go out and do something. It's not like on the phone, like, well, I could get out of bed in the morning. I could just sit here at the computer, and if they don't want to work with me, that's okay. But if I'm talking to them and I want them actually set an appointment, it's more likely I'm going to walk over, put my shoes on, go to the door, go to that appointment, and my brain is actually thinking, how do I get that? How do I solve that for these people? So totally, yeah. Standing up is a huge part of prospecting, and the pros do stand up, to be fair.
And one other thing, Dylan, if you're concerned about how you're coming across, I'll use headphones, like just AirPods, on 99% of the calls that can't be a Zoom, because I'm half Italian, so I talk with my hands all the time. And a lot of times I'll say that to people. I'm like, yeah, because it's this. And I go, like, you can see what I'm doing because I'm talking with my hands, and it usually gets a laugh out of it. But if I can still communicate my way, even if they can't see me, because we're not sitting there trying to hang onto a phone, it helps me a lot.
Yeah, those are great points. Thank you. I realized it too, like talking on the phone, practicing scripts, I sound different than I was helping set up stuff at a church like a few days ago, and saw a bunch of people I hadn't seen in a while. So I was, giving them the whole spiel and stuff, and I was way more natural in person and standing up in it. And when I was observing myself, I was like, okay, it's getting better, and especially in person, but over the phone, I definitely need to practice that. I think standing up will help.
Yeah, for sure. So David just shared a great idea with me earlier. I was gonna put this out there. So you guys have a really powerful group right now that there are almost 50 of you in our coaching program. And the best way to get more looks on your pages, the best way to get more interaction on your pages is to share each other's posts, to comment on each other's posts. And what I'm hoping this goes through, just hang on a sec here. Hopefully it is editable, David, but David's idea was for everyone to share your contact info on your social media links, Facebook, Instagram, all that, and then connect with each other and share each other's ideas, right? And so a lot of you guys are probably on our coaching page, but this is actually helping each other support each other's page and take what you like from each other's pages. And yeah, anything you want to add to that, David?
I guess, I don't know, I'll put it to a question. Like I mentioned to Chris earlier, can everybody hear what Chris and everyone's saying? Because there's a lot of you guys that don't have your cameras on. So I know from Chris and the rest of the coaches, it's kind of tough to see who's participating or who's around. Never mind just saying, hey, can I just put your hand up to play along with what they're asking? My quick question is, how many of you guys are on Facebook? By a show of hands. Okay, so on my screen, I see 4 people that have, I can't tell, so that's my point. Who's on Instagram? Who's on LinkedIn? Who's on Twitter? Who's on YouTube? And who's on TikTok? So that's kind of where I was going with it. So if you guys are interested in following any of my pages, my profiles, some of them are good. Some of them I have not put as much effort into because I've chosen not to. If you want to rip off anything, like I know somebody mentioned the other day, they're planning on stealing a few of my ideas, which I take as a compliment. Or if you guys want input or tips on how I do stuff or software or whatever, I'd be more than happy to share info.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and I think that's the key to this group is that you got 50 smart people that have backgrounds in different things, and you guys can share. And you're not like, yes, you're ripping off and duplicating. Yes, you're stealing each other's ideas. And trust me, I just got off my team call this morning. Who watched the call yesterday? The what was the rookie of the year? Yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, it was good. Good tips. Clearly, they had a lot of momentum under him. But just getting his feedback on kind of the first 3-6 months on how he approached his business, what he learned from his team kind of approach and joining his team. It was all good information. Very a lot of confidence that was instilled, I think, in myself and Neil, and specifically just listening to him. So it was good. It was a good call for sure.
Great. Glad you got a lot from it. And anyone else? Any ahas? Anything you haven't heard in the past?
No, unfortunately, it was good and good on him, but I don't think he was sharing anything earth-shattering new that we hadn't heard in this group already.
So I think that is the aha, and that was my ahas. Everyone on my team said the same thing. It's like, dude, you've told everything he said, but more to us already. Like, I know. And everything I'm saying and everything he said is something I ripped off and duplicated from someone else. So we're not reinventing the wheel here. It's not an easy business, but it's simple. It really is. He did the certain things that we all kind of, you guys could all go on that panel and tell me exactly what he said. Fair? This is what I did last year. And you'd be accurate in knowing that those are the activities that he should have, or we would do to be successful. I think that was the aha for me, is that, yeah, he's not doing anything outside of the norm. He's just doing it consistently. Talking to a bunch of people, following up. That's it. And, then transacting, obviously. And he had like 15 ends, whatever, and some pretty high price points, I'm sure, too. But at the end of the day, glad you guys got something out of it. And it's just like, I sometimes have to hear something 15 times before it finally sinks in my thick head. And that's one of those ones where it's like, okay, well, this guy did it first year. What did he do? He just did it. That's it. So, but yeah, so I shared that link with David, that David sent over. If you guys want to jump on there and just add your Facebook, Instagram, whatever links you have for your socials, Share, like each other's pages, encourage each other to interact more, and that's how you get in front of more people, right? And it has a lot of value as far as like the algorithms in these platforms. They actually want to see you guys interacting. So if I comment on everyone's post, then your post gets seen by more of your people and the outside people, right? So it does actually matter to support each other. Make sense?
I actually wanted to ask something about the door knocking. In yesterday's call, he talked about how he went door knocking a lot, but right now with the numbers rising, is anyone really doing door knocking at this time?
Mm-hmm.
They are, like, right? Because I mean, the numbers are like what, 900 and 800. That's what Bonnie's saying right now. So would you recommend to still go?
Yeah, you just need to be first of all respectful, that you don't know what people's fears are or concerns, but more importantly, like, safe. So you're not going to be giving them a bunch of stuff. I mean, if you want to have a flyer that you're printing and being careful not to lick or whatever, then
Yeah.
it's probably okay to leave a flyer behind still, but some people might be weirded out by that, so don't force it on them by any means.
Mhm.
If you're not feeling well, don't go. But I mean, the big thing is what I have my group doing is they knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and then they step way back. I tell them to have a mask hanging off of their ear. I still want them to see your face so they can like see your smile and actually realize there's not a bandit at their door, but still having the mask there. If you're getting someone that's really cautious, you just put it on, but more like just keep it there in case sort of thing. So they understand that you're aware of the situation, but it's hard to communicate with the mask on. People don't see it.
Yeah.
You're missing out on a lot of interaction with facial features and whatnot if you have a mask on, I think. So just having it there is enough, but stepping way back. And I had a young woman come to my door last night. She was working for Plan International, whatever, like doing charity for whatnot. It was like 8 o'clock at night. She's like in the rain, didn't have proper gear on. She's like super cold. I'm like, oh, my heart just melts for this poor young woman. I'm like, I want to give you money, but you just ask for my credit card at the door, and I'm like, oh, we'll do it differently. But the point is, she's still out there doing it, and she's like, it was zero contact. She had a whole system in place. So it just, people are still out doing it, and there's no reason you can't. And the cool part is, I don't think a lot of realtors are doing it. So if you want to be in the spring market doing it, 1 in 50 people that are hitting the neighborhood, right now you're 1 in 5, right? Or 1 in 2. So people are home. They're like working from home. Everyone's like looking for some sort of interaction. They're really friendly when you open the door lately. Like, I don't know if knocked the spring when the first go around of COVID happened. Like, everyone was so happy when you called them. They're like, oh my God, someone besides my family. Well, let's talk. What do you got to talk about? Yeah, I love real estate. Yeah. So it's a very easy conversation lately. So consider it as a good option. There's also, like, you go and tell us and you just make calls, and people are still happy to talk to you right now. So this is the benefit of COVID, is people are home, they're easy to reach, and more likely to not hang up on you and be more friendly on the phone. It won't always be like this, I promise. So run with it, build your momentum, go while you can. And one other thing is that 2 weeks ago, Trudeau announced that, the Privacy Act for phone calls is being restructured, we'll call it. And there will be a point where these auto dialers are banned and made illegal. So like a Mojo dialer or a sales dialer, I think it is $100 a month or whatever. You can do 3 lines dialing at one time. You can talk to a lot of people fast and get a lot of people in your database and like just build up a big momentum for your business. And this won't be around for much longer. So there's this little window of opportunity you guys have to make cold calls. And you could just sit at your house right now. It doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but it is very useful to use a sales dialer and spend like 2-3 hours a day. And just like, let's say if I want to build my database up by like 100 people in December, and of those 100 people, 10 of them will probably transact in the spring, I could do that, right? So if anyone wanted to just plug away for like a month and, I'd say like do 90 days or something and then never use it again, but now your momentum's up. So then you just get into the spring market and you follow up with people and you're doing whatever that is. But there's a window of opportunity to use a sales dialer, I believe, that will no longer be legal in a year or so. So you guys there's an opportunity there. It's not the most exciting way to do business, but who cares? You guys want to eat, you want to eat well quickly. There's a good opportunity to put your head down, go to work. So think about it. We'll go over Mojo Dialer in a class maybe next week. Not this coming Monday, but I think it's the week after, just so you understand how it works. But you can Google it now if you want. And it's a good time to be doing that. People are home over the holidays. You're going to talk to a lot of people, and they're friendly. So any other questions? Otherwise, I'll jump onto these CMAs we said we'd do. Perfect. So who did the CMA? Let's pull up that CMA training. How'd you guys do? Oh, so David, I just saw that. Are you able to change the access to on the social media to?
I'm trying.
Oh,
Do you know
people
where
are
it is?
Yeah, it should be okay now.
Because everyone's hitting me emails and I'm hitting yes, yes, yes. And now there's some people going in. Bina's in, Craig's in, Mickey's in.
Okay. So yeah, if you go to like share, you can go to get link and then just hit change. Anyone on the internet with this link can edit versus can view. That's all. You just change that and then save it. All right. So we got a few people that plugged in their numbers there. Thanks for playing along with the CMAs there. So does anyone want to run through the CMA and share their screen, or do you want me to do it? Anyone feeling like they want to learn how to do this and do it at a higher level? And I'll help coach you through it, but it really helps to do this yourself, and then we can go along. Does anyone want to step into the?
I have a question. Where do you post what CMA we're supposed to do?
I emailed it to everyone yesterday.
Oh, okay. I better double check.
It was it was underneath the Zoom link for that same email I sent yesterday. Unless you've not signed the coaching contract yet and you're not getting, like, if you've not been onboarded by Laura, then you may not be in my top producer yet. That might be why. If you got an email from me yesterday or no?
I don't see one.
Okay. Have you signed the coaching contract?
I think I haven't actually. Of all the forms I did at once, I think I still need to do that one.
Okay. So if you've signed that, then once you do that, Laura will onboard you and then you'll be in the whole system. That's probably why not. Sorry, man. So.
Okay, I'll get that done today after this then.
Perfect. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll play along. Does anyone want to take on doing either of these? Jason, why don't you do 114th, and Zafe, do you feel comfortable doing?
I don't have, unfortunately, the information in front of me, but I think you've got the master copy on that.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, do you want to share your screen on Paragon and do the search? Does that make sense?
Makes sense, but it might be a little risky from me because unfortunately I don't have it set up right with my screens.
Got it. All right, I'll run the first one then, and then Jason, if you feel comfortable, you can do the second one. How's that?
Try it.
Yeah, guys, this is a safe room. I want you guys to take a stab at it. Worst case is we all laugh at you and you cry in your sleep tonight. I mean, just kidding. I'm just saying, like, we'll make an effort to coach you along with it and just do your best, and you're just going to plug it in. And if it feels like you're getting too many or not enough, then we'll just narrow it down or just get. Here's the thing: a CMA is not an exact science. Okay, every single person on this call is going to have a little different way of filtering. Everyone is going to have a different. It's an art. It's not a science, right? So the only way to get good at doing CMAs is to do a lot of them. and I still mess them up. I still have to go back and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I have to go back and do it again. Carolyn, Norman, and Hiroshi, we all have a different way of doing this. And it's okay to, just learn from your mistakes. Sometimes you get over there and like, oh man, this house is totally different than what was on the last description. And then you're like, whoa, we have to back up and say, I need to go back and do some more research. And that's okay to do too. And they call that a two-stepper, right? So you go in, you look at the property, you meet the sellers, you walk through the home, you get a bunch of details about the home, and realize your CMA is way out of whack. So you just like take it home with you and go back and redo it. And that's okay to do too. That makes sense? Like, and some people will only ever do a two-stepper. They say anyone who come into a house and be able to shoot from the hip and say, I did all this research and then I can accurately calculate every detail of everything in your property means that they can't actually give you a fair number without going back and doing more research. So anyone who does a one-stepper is making it up on the fly. You need someone that's going to go back and do the research after they walk through the home, which is a fair statement. But at the same time, if you do your research, you should be able to give them a pretty accurate spread within 20 to, depends on the price point, but a small range that the actual home should sell for, if that makes sense. So I just want you guys to feel confident that like nobody's perfect. No one's ever going to do the CMA that it actually sells for. That's why we do this exercise, to give you guys some confidence that it will be within a range, and who knows what a buyer's willing to pay. And I'll tell you a story next week about what happens when buyers get emotional, but we're still in the middle of it. So, okay. So first, we're going to finish with
Excuse me, Chris, one quick question. Mozzie here.
Yes, hi.
Quick question. I searched both the listing ID and both properties are sold in the past. So that's why I got kind of confused. That would be the, right. That would be the, then we know the answer. I don't know. That's kind of confusion for me because both the listing apparently sold in the past.
Yes. So these are properties that will eventually be relisted by us. That makes sense. So these are old.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know about that part. I thought I just had a look at the listing ID. Then I got in the email and then search. She said, okay, these are sold. So what are we supposed to do?
Yeah. So every property has a history. So we're just looking at the history of the previous sales. And then now we're aiming to go and list these properties.
Oh, I see. Thanks.
So obviously, if you had a buyer, then you're going to do the same thing, same exercise for your buyers, which you should do for every property when you're purchasing it for your buyers, to say, okay, well, this is what I believe the last few sales have been in the area, so you're not overpaying or you're getting a good deal. So giving them a market evaluation on the home they're purchasing as well. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I missed the last part. I know. Oh, thanks.
Okay, so if anyone hasn't seen it, we'll just start from scratch. So this is back in 2016 when they sold over asking at 420. So 6 days on market. So it's obviously a hot market. 3-bed, 3-bath, built in '93. 2,000 square foot townhouse. So a little bit of room downstairs, probably a rec room or a den, looks like. Rec room there. So we don't know what the updates are necessarily. Zaif, do you know what the updates are?
Neelam, is there any updates? Do we know? I don't think so, right? It's as pictured. They haven't done much changes, or?
I don't think that they've done much changes. I actually haven't seen it. I've kind of just seen it through pictures, but it basically looks the same. I think they've done some painting, but that's about it, I believe.
Okay, so more or less original to the 2016 photos. And paint and obviously different furniture, but more or less. And so then it comes down to the condition, if they've been rough and then lived hard in it, or if they've taken really good care of it, staged it well. So that's where you come in and give some expertise as to what they can do to add value with a good return on investment. So, all right. So detached. That was Solds, you can do expireds, but we'll just stick with actives and solds for now. Townhouse. So it's in West Newton. What I do always like to do is just make sure that I'm in the middle of West Newton here. If I'm like on the border of another sub area, sometimes you want to be careful not get an idea of where it is. So just Fraser Valley sub areas. So right, it's literally a block away from sorry. So this would be a good example of there's a different sub area right here on the other side of 80th and another one right here. So really probably best to draw a map around here and catch more. And yes, there will be school districts and certain things that are affected by that. So you're just gonna have to take that into account as well.
Sorry, Chris, how did you go into that search function where you were able to see the sub areas on the map?
The three little layers here. So you can do Fraser Valley. You can do like the Greater Vancouver, then Greater Vancouver sub areas. So just click on that, and then it shows it. And I'm just noticing that they're not labeled.
I think the other layer gives the two initials, doesn't it?
This one does for Greater Vancouver. But this is Fraser Valley. So I'll just use this as an example. Sorry. If I go over here, I go to Greater Vancouver sub areas, and they're all labeled.
Yeah.
Usually.
One question, that's great. Actually, I never noticed that function in the map. And then those different colors, do they mention the neighborhood name as well, or just by differentiating of the color, we know that these are falling under different neighborhoods?
Oh, there it is. Okay, I've never done that before. Yeah, so you see this here? This gives like the actual, so you can see the difference. So like Burnaby, South Slope, Metrotown. So you can see that. But this little toggle here is when you get the correct. So yeah, see, Coach learned something today too. So there, Queen Mary, Scottsdale, West Newton. So we want to kind of draw a square around those three, if that makes sense. Does that answer your question?
Yes, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so residents attached. So I have West Newton in there, but I'll probably take it out, or else I can add the other three, but I might as well just use the map search. Sometimes it goes really slow if you have too many. If I didn't put a date in there, it's just trying to load too many results. So.
Chris, one question while we're waiting here. See at the top how you have the CMA option? Like I clicked that. Is that something that you do, or do we create presentations out of there, or?
You can, yeah.
Not that slick, or?
No, it's not bad. It's really a user preference how you want to do it. So you can go in there, and then you can actually create like slides within that presentation.
Okay.
So I just want to look at this one more time. Actually, just get so really clear numbers. And you got anyone who's works in Surrey specifically, you might as well chime in what you think the cutoff streets should be. I'll play along. I'll be your Vanna. So 116th, 112th, 120th, Which way on the west side? How far?
Can I chime in?
That's why this is a group effort.
Okay, cut off 120th because that's a Delta and prices are basically 10 to 20,000 more.
Yeah, good point.
Delta's more than Newton, Carol?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're doing townhouses, and just to give you a clear picture, there's quite a few townhouses in this area, so you don't have to go too wide. If it were detached, you may need to go a little further, but so 84th, 82nd, 80th, 88th, how far north?
Okay.
Go up to 84th, I'd say.
About 84th.
84th, I agree. How far west? East?
128.
Yeah, this is a lot of parkland. We might catch a little bit in here, but I think you might want to just catch this in here. So going past 124th there. And you can do whatever. You can draw a polygon or whatever, and then how far south?
I think just up to 76 there, or 75, where it bends over into 76.
I like it. All right.
Because after that, you get a lot of detached homes south of that.
Okay. So just go rubber band 84th down to 75th. Oh, what happened there? Sure down. I think all you Zoomers has slowed down my computer here. So to 128th. How's that feel for everybody? That's what's happening.
Okay.
So 17 in there. That's actually a pretty good start to the search. So batch criteria, I put in 90 days. I think you can stick with that right now with 17. We'll see what happens. So what price should I put in? If you know, don't answer. I'll take your silence as none. That's good.
Zero.
Okay, leaving it open. Good. So I have search date. So 90 days back. You can do it over here where you do like March or April, whatever. But 90 days back is just a simple, faster way of doing that. Just so you know. Making sure you have the townhouse in there. I'm going to get rid of that. That's why we have so few. So I got 23. So how many bedrooms?
3.
3. I agree. Let's see what that is. So we card off a few. So it's a 3-3. I think at bathrooms, you could probably get away with a 2. Just, you don't want to miss out on some competition there. Shouldn't be any different. So it's a bigger townhouse, right? It's 2,000 square feet. It's got that rec room downstairs. So what do you think the minimum square foot can be? Should be
18?
1,800.
Yeah, I think I might go a little less just to be at the beginning. You're a little conservative, and then we can tighten it up. Let's go 1,700. See what that does. So we lost. So just to show you the difference, 1,800. No difference. So
Okay.
1,500. 23. So you're kind of in a different world there. So we do need to carve off a few of these. So 21. So age, we should lose a few here. So what's the built 93? So that's 27 years old. What's the maximum age, do you think?
35?
35, yeah. I think that's right there, sure. The minimum?
Anyone?
There's no right or wrong, folks. Use your microphones. Okay. 15. Don't want to compare against new construction here. Anything under warranty doesn't make sense, right? So 10 years or more, right? So we're down to 17. I don't think there's much else we can do really to carve off more. We could put a maximum of like 2,600 square feet, say. No, 400. We can maybe go 60 days. See what that does. There, I think that's good. How about that? Feel good?
Yep.
I'm trying to get to like 10 to 12. But if I have too few, then I got nothing to look at. If I have not enough, then we're, or sorry, too many. Sort of. So there's actually a fair bit of inventory on this in the market right now. As you can see, in the last 60 days, there's been 5 sales, and there are 8 sold. So, or 8 active, sorry. So that's interesting. I mean, you can see that right now in other markets, there's like 1 active and 12 sold. So there's a little bit of competition, we'll say. So what do you guys see up at the top here? So 13 listings, average days on market, pretty high, right? So you're gonna have some outliers. You're gonna look at the days on market, 176, these ones are really dragging the prices up or the dates up. So they should not be on for that long. They should have been canceled and relisted, and that's just terrible marketing by those realtors, more or less. Okay, let's start ripping through. So you can see the average list price is $615 and the average sold price at $581. So they're knocking off 34 grand off the list price on average. So, you know, when you're talking to sellers, you're saying there's definitely negotiation that's happening out there. With this much inventory, you're going to have to be prepared that people are not going to offer you full price right out of the gate. So even if it's sharp. And one other thing, just real quick, when you pull this up with the search, what's the one? There's a consistent red, so that all the schools are selling under ask, right? So in other markets I've done the CMAs in the last couple of days, there's lots of green where things are selling over asking, right? Especially the detached market. So that just gives you a quick overview of like, okay, well, we're not in necessarily a buyer's market or a seller's market, right? So it's a bit of a buyer's market here right off the bat. Anything else?
So not only is there competition, I guess, like around the external from this property and this strata, but also inside, right? Like there's a couple listed there directly in the same.
In the complex.
Yeah. So there's some internal competition there that, I mean, would it make sense strategy-wise? You look there first, because that's what we did. We looked at what was currently selling in the building. So unit 94 and unit 39. And then we went on to do some of the comparables from there. But what's the strategy kind of around that?
Yeah, so what I will typically do once we're done here is I'll get this, I'll go back to here and I'll put this in as the strata, and then I'll put like 1 year back for search date. So you guys can all set this up, by the way. So this is my little quick CMA. I just, however you want to customize this, but that way you have like at least price, dates, age, and I can do a fast CMA over here versus having to go all the way through over here. And then obviously you need the status and stuff in there too. But when I check in the complex, I want to look further back on the complex because everybody knows their complex. Everybody knows, oh, my neighbor sold last year for this price. And like, if you don't have that information up front, you're going to look like a fool. So it's important to have that prepared and brought over. It may not necessarily be accurate, but if their neighbor sold a year ago, it is something that buyer's agents and other people want to look at. So be prepared with that. All right. So Queen Mary Park, so a little bit different sub area, but overall still quite close. So 9 days on market. So 569, built in 88, so 5 years older. Got 3 bed, 3 bath, about 300 square feet smaller. So it is a discount brokerage, so they only offer 1% of sale price. So That being said, it's possible there may be they're leaving some money on the table because of the brokerage they're choosing to list with. So some dated furniture, old carpets. Okay, at least a little private backyard. It's nice. All right. One thing you can do is you can touch base John Carlson, say, hey, what's happening? Any offers, any show-ins, much activity, and then get some feedback from him. Okay. So this one sold 10 under asking in 60 days. So 4 years older, same size, more or less, 3-bed, 3-bath. Yeah. Nice and private on that green belt. I'm sure it's, boy, those cupboards look really beat up.
They look like they were painted and then worn.
Yeah, and then just like someone took hockey sticks to them or something. It's terrible, but it's got a little bit of life left in it, I guess. Updated bath, that's nice. So a decent little rec room down there. So this is closer to, if it didn't have those beat up kitchen cabinets, I think it'd be a pretty good comp for size and everything. It's just, it's a little bit rough in the kitchen, and so it does have some updates in the bathrooms that might kind of cancel it out. So end unit right off the bat this is important, sold. So 6 under ask, 5 years older, a couple hundred square feet smaller. How do you guys think the first one compared, just as a group? Not so much.
Yeah, I don't think it was a little bit, too old, I think, right? And then especially when you look inside, super dated in comparison to what we're.
Look at the couple live there, right? So this is kind of lower end finishings, original melamine cabinets. Okay, I probably redid the floors, and it's fresh paint, but clean. Definitely needs to be brought into the 20th century here. So it's got the end unit going for it. Nice little yard. Washer, dryer. That rec room downstairs is a nice feature.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Generally, how much more are the end units? Like 10 grand more than the rest of them? If everything is the same except it's just the end unit?
Yeah, I don't know if you can put a dollar amount. It's definitely, so you have usually a wider, this one isn't, it's actually only a single car garage, but usually end units end up being double garages and they're wider floor plan because they just get a little extra space. And then they'll have extra windows, so it's more light. There's maybe a percentage of difference, maybe a couple percent different higher. So it's, so you say $10,000, maybe the 2 or 3% increase in value. And then, looking at what they sold for from the developer, what's the difference in price to buy an end unit versus original middle unit. So I think it's at least $10,000, and coaches or anyone else can chime in if they've had experience with it. I think it's call it 10 to 20 in the areas that we're likely to be working in. So
it also depends on the yard size as well too. So, and it depends on the location of the end unit.
Sure.
So if they're backing certain areas, and the size of the complex. So there's so many variables.
Yeah, a big part of it is really where it is in the complex. Like you can have an end unit that backs onto the main road, and like I don't know if anybody thinks any more value there. But if you had it like into the back on the green belt and all this other stuff, then there may be some definite extra value. That could go quite a bit higher. What were you gonna say, David?
I would say for some buyers that have come from a townhouse with, let's say, a tandem garage and have dealt with shuffling cars in and out throughout the days, they might see more value to get an end unit and have side-by-side regular garage, and the value for them could be almost unlimited, right?
Yeah, I agreed. Yeah. And that's the thing, is everyone's, with every house, there's a different reason they see different value, right? So everyone has their own needs of a property. So this one sold in just over a month. 10,000, 9,000 under ask. 4 years younger, older. Sorry. Same square footage, 2015. Kind of duplex style. Pretty comparable finishings, I'd say. Nice. This is very artistic photography. There's a lot of photos.
Yeah, I'd say this one's pretty comparable. I've seen other townhomes in their complex. I have a friend that lives in another one, so this is pretty comparable, I think.
Yeah. So there you go. There's definitely the number one. I mean, you could bring all these over just to say you've talked about it. You might even 35 days on market, so like a month on. So I think it's a good, hard to argue with that one. So this is still actually quite close by. A little bit larger, by 100 plus square feet, but 8 years newer, right? 7 years newer. So sold in 19 days. So white cabinets, but kind of similar condition, I'd say. Laminate everything, and but the curb appeal of the complex is definitely higher. I think it's just newer. Life, the warranty is only up by 5 years, right? So a lot less stuff to have to worry about that versus something in the 90s. They may even have poly B in our subject property. So yeah, just a little better construction, but it is cool. Oh, I missed that. So it's 1,500, and then you have 650 unfinished. So that's in the garage, ready to be converted into some rec room if you want it, but there's a cost to it. So that's kind of why this is where it is. To convert that, by 20 grand. So if they had that done, you're over 6 for sure. So, but the price is such a different, or the age is such a different category. So you can use it, show it as an example, but it's not really a true comp. So here's the same complex, yeah. So 4 beds, sold or 24 days on, listed at 588, and like your offers are November 10th, and they did not receive them. It would appear, or you might want to check in to see what happened there. So.
Hey, Chris, just wanted to ask you, it looks like on this one, they've got the rec room listed as a 4th bedroom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of them. Is there any like rule against that or for that?
Well, here's the thing. Here's their rec room right here, it would appear. So I don't.
That's a nice bed.
Yeah, this is their. They don't sleep. They just work out on and fall asleep on the bench, I guess. But there's no closet in here, so that I can see at this angle at least. So something to keep in mind. It's not truly a bedroom. But and this is what I tell my sellers: if you want to market your home as a 4-bedroom, even though it's only a 3-bedroom, like you saw that other one, there's a bed in the basement. Like we used to do that in our townhouse, and we called it a bedroom when we sold it. It was really only a 2-bedroom upstairs and a rec room down, but I called it a 3-bedroom because it gets more eyes in there. And it was a 3rd bedroom. We used it as a bedroom. It had its own ensuite even. We had guests stay there. So you just need to tell your sellers, this is how we're going to market it, and be prepared that there's going to be some pushback because people are like, well, it's not really a bedroom. And, you know, Carol can chime in. It's like, is it the right thing to do?
I'll chime in. No, you can't. You can get fined. It's got to be classed properly, unfortunately.
Yeah. And
you got to have a closet, you got to have a window, and you have to have a door.
So closet, window, door, and you've got yourself a bedroom.
You got it. And not just like a wardrobe thing. It's got to be a built-in.
Yeah.
So that's Carol's answer. That's a brokerage's answer. And then it's, what are you going to do for your sellers? If they say we want to market it as a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom here, you do what makes your sellers happy. And I don't know if you get something signed, Carol, or whatever, but that's where this sort of people understand it. I'd rather overpromise and underdeliver is what I always say. So having people come in and go, oh, it's a bonus. You got almost like a 4th bedroom downstairs versus like, this isn't really a bedroom. And then they're kind of turned off. So that's how I kind of position it to the sellers is it's better to have that bonus in there versus the takeaway.
Well, I would put in there could be used as a bedroom or have used in the comments rather than actually listing it that way, because if the council pulls that up and stuff, somebody could complain and they say, hey, you know what? And then you're going to be hauled in saying, hey, you know what? You've not listed this properly. It's inaccurate.
Fair enough. Yeah. And so that's the right way to do it. And as long as your sellers are it's really about managing their expectations.
Yeah, because I've showed places it says, oh, a bedroom as a buyer's agent, and I go in there. Well, that's not a bedroom, right? And then it's just like, okay, not going to work. This is what they want. That's what they're looking for. So it's kind of actually false advertising when you're advertising it incorrectly.
It's called misrepresentation. It actually is. But it's you know, here's the thing: is someone drives all the way out there and they're like, dude, there's no bedroom here. I got a kid needs a bedroom, and now you've actually got some upset people. They could potentially make your life hell. It's pretty unlikely, but that's the end of the day. Usually it's just other realtors complaining.
Yeah. But I highly recommend putting in the contract, or pardon me, putting it on the Paragon listing. Yes, can be used as a bedroom. Works well.
Can you classify it as a den, maybe, and then like can be turned into a bedroom kind of thing?
Yeah, it just won't get caught up in certain categories as a 4-bedroom, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's why sellers will say they want to do that.
If I may,
Sorry, or on the photos listed as this flex space / den / bonus room, whatever, to give them ideas.
Yeah, whatever your creativity is, it's really about the search category. This is why people push back. They say, I want that 4th bedroom. So people search for 4 bedrooms and my house comes up. Even though it's not.
And then, Chris, it skews with the price too. Because if you're looking, 3-bedroom homes and they're saying it's a 4, it skews with that price point as well.
Yeah, so your CMAs are all whacked. This is a nice first photo. They did a good job. The lighting's good. They just picked a good day and they've done a good job. These are, I don't know who the photographer is, but I'm impressed.
You got a couple hands up.
Oh, some people ask some questions. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can unmute and chat away, guys. This is open forum.
I was just going to say that I remember dealing with one condo in Vancouver, and they rated the room was renovated balcony, unauthorized as a bedroom.
Brutal. Yeah. And, that extra square footage screws a lot of stuff up. I mean, even with strata approval and all this stuff, it's still like, it's not actually part of the strata plan. And yeah.
Actually, if I may add a question, if a person has a room that is in the process of getting certified as an actual room, is there a way to put that note down? So let's say they just haven't quite finished the process with the municipality.
Well, until it's authorized, I think you can say it's on its way. You know, the application is in, but you can't necessarily say that it's going to be. It is, and it's really what you can market. What can you put out there, and it really comes back to like the search criteria that you're going to get caught up in. So maybe it's better for them to hold off until that's done. This is not a very amazing house, but I'm really impressed with the photos. They did a great job. Like the lighting or something, like it's a good lens. I don't know if you guys can see it, but for whatever reason, it's a good day or something. Who knows? I want this photographer. Anyway, where are you, Chris Johnson? Those Chris's, they pick good guys. 1,800 square feet, so a little bit smaller than ours. 91, couple years older, but same complex. So different phase, I guess. Yeah. So end unit, there's your extra valuation there. Anything else anyone wants to bring up to my attention? A little bit smaller, but end unit, so that might kind of cancel each other out. Cool.
Hi, Chris. I have a question. This is Manpreet.
Hi there.
So is it the facing makes a difference too, if it's south facing, east facing in price wise?
Yes. Certain cultures, certain human beings do feel that south facing backyards are very important. Certain people think, again, it really is more to do with the location in the complex or the building or the neighborhood. So I think a south facing yard is great, especially if it's the type of backyard you're going to get to use to entertain with and stuff. And a strata, it's less important versus where it is in the strata, if that makes sense. So it's,
yes, so you can add some extra value to it if it's south facing, no?
not as a standard, I'll say. It's a, like if I'm looking at the exact same house in the same complex and the one's on one side of the street and one's on the other side of the street and one has a north facing backyard and the other has a south facing backyard, then yes.
Okay, perfect.
But,
thank you.
But there's not a lot, right? I don't know if like anyone can put a value on that, because some people might just be like, hey, totally happy with all the sun coming in my front windows and having a north facing backyard because I don't go in my backyard very much.
Yes, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a very individual basis, we'll say. And most of these are. Like, that's the whole point of doing these CMAs. You have to do a lot of them to truly get a feel for it, and they're all unique, and every property is unique, every buyer, every seller is unique. So that's what's cool about this business, is you'll never run into the same situation twice. You think you are, but the people are different or the home's different or something. So good comp, active. I mean, I think I could just stop this right now just because of how close, like we're all within $5,000, hey, in this complex, the solds and the actives. Like, no one's messing around. It's a very, this is a straightforward CMA. Unless this thing's got like gold toilets and like diamonds on the ceiling, I think we're in the same category. Like, same updates, got some new appliances. Yeah, like, yeah, original. There you go.
And Chris, one question while you're here. How do you take into consideration the strata fee? Because some of them, I mean, from buyer's perspective, some might have a tight budget of paying all the mortgage and property tax and etc. And then they end up saying, oh no, I'm not gonna pay 400 plus strata fee. I'm gonna stay within 300-ish.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Thank you. Is some complexes have higher strata fees, some have very low strata fees and assessments. and some have been poorly built and have lots of work coming up. And so it's all like every strata is run differently. And so you're truly not comparing apples to apples if you're even looking at a different complex. So it helps that we do have some pretty accurate sales and actives in the complex we're looking at. So that'll really just make this a very fast, quick CMA. But we're just looking overall at this. And so this is not really a good accurate one again. So 1296 square feet of finish and then a big unfinished basement again. Or right, unfinished. I didn't say where it is, but I imagine it's in the basement. Yeah, so I can rip through it, but this isn't really going to compare. Yeah, that makes sense. Like strata fees are obviously very important, but they are like this one's at 421, and it definitely affects your ability to finance. So this one's been on for 64 days. So same idea, original, most stuff. It's good size. So obviously out of the market by a ways. They're probably 50K over ask, overpriced, maybe 40, we'll say. I don't know why, like it's built in 1990. Is there anything special that I missed here that they should be selling for over 6? So active, 2 days on, 3 built in 1989. Oh, this is self-managed and it has a lot size, so there's something different. 1,700 square feet. We're calling it a 4-bedroom. Bedroom. Flex room. Main is a bedroom, I guess. So I mean, I don't even have to look. Everything else we've looked at, this seems like well out of whack for price, but let's just have a peek. Maybe that they completely renovated it. It is, so they got some new floors. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, never mind. You get the point. That's awesome. Someone threw up on the walls. No offense. Yeah, there's no reason to look at it. It's out of whack. Fair? Everybody agreed? This is built 99, 4 beds. So, yeah, as Carol mentioned, like the 4 beds definitely push you in a nice different category, but I don't think you're at the, like, you know, I might give you 30 grand, 40 if it's newer and like really nice and spacious, but these are still only 1,900 square feet. So 4 bedrooms is actually kind of tight in this layout. That makes sense. So that's why they're 170 days on market. So, you know, if your sellers are like, hey, we want 650, you can show them those other ones. Be like, this is not real. You know, everything up here is well out of the market. So this one isn't really comparable. So there's a good group there. And then just the quick back, 7955. Oh, 122. I'll go back a year. Oh, let's go active. Oh, back a year, just to see how many actually. So 17 in a year. Holy. Wow. What does that tell anybody? So look at it, you got 550 to 615. There's your price range. I don't have to do much more, right? Throw a dart in the board and it's 585, right? That's like right in the middle, really. And I think there's your average. So, you know, you want to sell fast, you got to be like 575. You want to try it out, you got to be under 6, maybe 580, 90, 85, 90, something like that. So this is a very simple CMA as far as being accurate. I think, you know, you're the best condition, you're up here. You're weak condition, you're down in the 560s, right? So I think they're, you know, end unit, there's a couple tweaks here and there. Now you're just going to walk through and like you can just take probably 6 months of this and then carve it down again. And I think that's it. Like, does anyone have any thoughts to add to that? How did we do on our CMA training? I just want to see what people are like. Mad dash. So yeah, we've got 599s and 615. So I think these are a little bit outside of the ballpark here. I think I would definitely be under 6 to list it if you want to. And the days on market are probably a little generous. I think you're probably up to 30 to 45 days. And so if you want to sell at under 30 days, you need to be under 580. If you want to sell for 30 to 60 days, you got to be under 590, and 600 is like probably a 60-day plus. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's good.
Close. And again, it's not perfect science, because you could get in there, they could have done more stuff, and if they've done some extra stuff and they do a really good job staging it, you do some really nice photos, you might sell a little bit faster, but you don't want to overpromise, right? So set that stage. Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, this one, Neelam and I, around 10:30 p.m. when we were doing this, we were good, because there's obviously, you can see the data. It was easy to come to a benchmark to establish this. But the next one,
Not so much.
I'm all ears on the next one, Chris. I feel like you set us up on that next address.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny. This is a little backstory about this one is, actually, no, Jason, please share the story. This is the best story I probably have ever heard in my career of how this came about. So, Jason, what happened?
Oh, put me on the spot. Okay, well, I was doing an open house at another property on the street, and there was a minor explosion, and a house down the street caught fire. So I went out there to see what was going on, and sure enough, the back patio was on fire. So I worked together with a few other neighbors, and we took some hoses and kept the fire down until the fire department came. And basically, fire department came. It wasn't too bad. And then I sort of helped out the family with a cat carrier for their cat. And then now about 1.5 years later, because they finished all their work on the place, they contacted me and said, hey, would you be interested in looking into helping us see what's required for us to sell this property? So I don't know. That's my little firefighting experience for helping the neighbors. Turned out.
Very nice.
It is awesome. How's that, eh? Like, that's not the general way of doing business for prospecting, but it definitely works. Start a fire and save the day. No big deal. So, I love it. Thanks, man. And so, yeah, the story behind it, though, as I talked to them as well. So they've completely redone the house. So it's a brand new house. The upstairs kitchen caught on fire. So they have brand new cabinets with laminate counters. They've done laminate floors, all new doors, windows, blinds, lights, all new plumbing, new roof, new vinyl siding, new decks, new appliances, new something I can't read my own writing. Suite is brand new downstairs, all ready to go. It's just roughed in, but so it's really a like 90% new house, which is interesting. So we haven't seen inside or anything yet, but it's pretty cool that it's going to really be one of the nicer ones in the neighborhood as far as finishings, at least fresh. I haven't seen their taste, which is the other thing. So that could be homeowner eccentric counters and like random color schemes, which would definitely detract from it. So you got to make sure that they have reasonably decent taste with their fixtures and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so thanks for sharing, Jason. That's a good story. I love it. I've never heard anything like it. And do you want to do the CMA for us or with us?
Actually, I would love to, but unfortunately, I'm having some technical glitches. If it's possible to get you to do it, I can crunch down some of the numbers of what's been sold in the area overall and what's active. work with you. But unfortunately, I am having a little bit of a glitch between my MLS and being able to share.
Yeah, totally fine, man. That's fine. So let's grab this.
And Chris, while you're going through the CMA, I have a question. Do we need to disclose this fire in the PDS? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come up. Like, people are going to look at this house and go, this looks nothing like the last sale. Why is, it's brand new. So it shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. I mean, if there was like excessive smoke damage or something like that, but it's all been remediated. It's all been fixed. The city's been through. They've done everything they're supposed to do to make sure that it's basically a brand new house. Some people might be a little turned off by the fact that there's a fire in there, but it's not like a grow op or something where, there's potential danger or health that's hidden. I don't think there's anything that I would be too worried about. And it sounded like it wasn't that big of a fire, but it just did a lot of damage. Just, I don't know, Jason can probably tell you more about that, but.
No, it's got a good clean bill of health.
Yeah. I think it's just, obviously you disclose it. In a certain way, it's like kind of a plus because you're getting all brand new everything. So
I see. I mean, from to be in a safer side, if it's excessive damage to the deck and exterior kind of those rails, I personally wouldn't worry about that. But if it's damage to the property itself, I'm assuming we need to disclose it in the PDS in order in a safer side, because you never know. The guy is going to buy it and then come to know about the neighbor a few months later, and they might blame us, right?
Yeah, that's why you disclose it. It's not. Yeah. Okay. So you can quickly.
I would say disclose it, but if it happened like 5 years ago, that's a whole different story. But if it was just recent and they're doing stuff, then yeah, I would say I'd look at it that way, because you can't hold something against a house like for a lifetime.
It was probably also a good reason once they started repairing what needed repairing. We might as well do the thing beside it. We might as well do the floors. Well, we might as well do this while we got the house torn apart too.
Yeah. They just kind of went fresh with everything. So I don't think it's really matters these photos. So what was I going to say? So the threw me off track there. Good. This is an interesting one because we haven't seen it at all. We don't really know the taste of them. I hope they did a good job. Yeah, so
they're reasonable owners. They didn't do pink walls.
Yeah, fair enough. So just to let you know where it is of Oliver Heights. And we've recently sold quite a few of my team over here in the last couple of months. So like it's hot, multiple offers on all of them. So it's kind of, again, just to show you how this works. It's right in the middle of Bolivar Heights, so you can just use Bolivar as your sub area, and that's just an easy. You don't have to use the map really. And so, how many days back?
90.
90. You can start. What should I put for price? What range?
0.
Guys are catching on. All right. There's always someone. We're in a sharp group today. So 7,000 square foot lot. I believe it's built in the 70s. Let's look at the tax. But it's a total rebuild, so it's almost brand new. So you can almost compare it to 1955. Okay, 50s. Sorry, yeah. Actually, that is the area too. So most of these places are 50s built, but it's substantially rebuilt. So I think the age is going to be a kind of a challenging situation there. So 90 days back, let's say 4 bedrooms, couple, do that.
And Chris, why some realtors in a listing they put 999? Are they lazy or they want to be up on the search of some? Why they don't put the actual year built or age of? I mean, don't understand 999 is.
It's a good question. It's kind of how the you have to have something in there for your data input sheet for Paragon to accept it. And I mean, we can look at the city, we can look at BC assessment, we can look at the tax history. If there's any documents the homeowner has as to when it was built, there's a number of ways you can get that data.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. But I mean, that's the laziness of listing agent, or that reason behind the kind of secret, tricky ways of?
Yeah, is that like how a search parameter might pull up something a little bit more? Is that potentially it, or?
No, I don't think. If anything, it might screw up the ages. You might not get caught up, and if you're looking for 60s or newer or something.
It's just late.
Well, and sometimes they don't have the records on that too. So it's a good thing to put the 9999 as an old timer. So a lot of developers look for that as well. So it might not hurt you in that fact.
Oh, I see. There might be builders call on the search or kind of attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just can't locate it. Sometimes there's no records and there's no way the city's going to go through their microfiche and start looking for that stuff.
Right. Sounds good. Thanks.
Wasn't too hard to find here, but
so let's call it lazy.
Yeah. Well, lazy and the safe route, right? So if I put it's 1965, and it's actually, so I'll tell you a story. I had a previous assistant that put the wrong age on one of our listings, and we had multiple offers, and ended up being 7 years older than what we originally thought. Well, she just, I think, took it off of BC assessment or something instead of like us looking up the data. And the buyer said, well, we want $30,000 off. And I said, well, luckily we have a backup offer. And if you still want it, you can have a 7-year-old older home, or we'll go with the backup offer, which is just as good as yours. And she said, we'll take it. I'm like, okay, we'll sign this addendum. But had I not had that backup offer, who do you think would have been responsible for that $30,000 from the seller for having the wrong date?
You.
Yeah. That's ugly. That's scary. I learned a good lesson, thankfully not the hard way. So did my assistant. And I didn't yell, but I think she got the point. And this is a long time ago, not anyone I work with anymore. But anyway, that's a very important factor. If you don't know it, better 999. So good call, bring that up. Thanks, man.
Yeah, exactly. It just saves your butt that way, because sometimes, like you say, there can be discrepancies as well. And if it's a way older home, I would rather go the 9999. Yeah,
and you can just in the realtor remarks saying, age was taken from Paragon tax or whatever. If you're getting, it's because this does happen. You'll have one BC assessment, you have one Paragon, you'll have one at the city, and there's like just not a solid number there. So that's probably part of it.
Noticed that when I pulled up BC assessment, looking at the two we did, there was discrepancies in age, square footage from that and Paragon. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to go with Paragon at this point.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So grand total, this one is 2,200 square feet. What do you think I should start minimum square footage?
18.
Safe bet. Max?
26.
Oh, okay. So we talked about the age. I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to say it's still going to be the original floor plan, so it makes it dated. If that makes sense. Like it's still going to be the same 50s box. It's not going to be open concept kitchen as much, and some of the larger doorways and that type of stuff that you find in a newer home. So it's going to still feel a little bit compartmentalized, I believe. I haven't been in it, but I'm just kind of sense that. So
it has 2 floors, up and down.
Yeah, it does, but it's still the original kind of step in. There's a little foyer here, and then you're up, and like there's only like a few rooms up, and then it's a buried basement. It still feels the same layout as a 50s home. Versus, if I look at a 10-year-old home, you guys know what the feel of that is and the design. So
does it have 2 kitchens? Did it have this?
This one did have 2 kitchens, but it was decommissioned. So it has an authorized suite, but they took the power out, he said. So I don't know if he said that they didn't even have 220 volt in the kitchen. So I don't know. Sorry, in the suite. So that what I would do if I were doing this is I would bury that 220 in the wall, and then you can always access it afterwards. You just, you roughen the plumbing, you bury the 220, and then the inspector goes, and then you move on through life. So, yeah. So we're at 40 right now. We've got to get lot size. So this is important. It's a 7,000 square foot lot and 50 feet of frontage. So where are we at here?
5,500?
Yeah, I think we tighten it up a little bit. These go 6 to start and 8. How does that feel? 23. Still need to knock off a little bit more. I go 60 feet of frontage because I don't want to for a maximum. Wow. Okay. Really took off a lot. You're not going to be able to subdivide this one, and maybe with a little older age first. It's 20 years in age, say. That's 2. So we're getting there. So if I add this suite, let's just see what happens. Down to 14. So they've actually deleted their suite, which is kind of annoying. Like it costs them a fair bit of money doing that. And they're going to need to well, someone like it's ready to go. He said it's just so I don't know. Let's see. There's a lot of properties to look through right there. Go max 6 bedrooms. See if that helps. $25. 18. Slowly carving them down. Aiming to get to like 12, right? So, I do. Let's go 60 days back. Okay. We're good? I don't want it to be too much more. So what are you seeing right off the bat? Can everyone see on the screen?
Yep.
Trending downwards on price.
Thank you. That's the first thing you catch, right? It's like everybody's selling under asking, which is funny because we didn't. Actually, no, we did. We did. Sorry. We ended up giving up some at the end. And it's not actually, ours is not sold yet. So waiting on a deposit check. So average days of market, a month. They are really negotiating off the purchase price. You're 90,000 off a list. So pretty serious price drop to sold price. Yeah, it's funny. I actually went through this the other day. So this is all development property. Like it's really just waiting to get rebuilt. So it's all land value. And so he 879 down 849 down 829, sold 760. So it smells of desperation, and they finally got it. So not a good comp. Better comp, built in 58, a little bit larger lot, 4.2, same, a little larger there, close with the square footage. So they're 15 days on. So send them a touch base. How's the activity? Let's actually do that since we're doing this one for real. Show you guys what I do. I find if you use their name, they respond more. So send that out a few times, and then it is a very good way to get a real feel for what's happening up there. Your sellers are always impressed when you do that. So, well, actually, let's look at the updates. Some new floors and paint. Pretty original kitchen. It's got some, well, not original, but dated kitchen. So they did a good job in the suite here. Framed in what it's worth. So a little rough landscaping, we'll say, but it's a nice chunk of land anyway, and it's good size. It has a suite, other, whatever they're calling it. So getting almost $1,000 a month. New roof, furnace, windows. So there's, 10, 15, 25, 30 grand, somewhere in that range there that I spent in the last little while. Pheasant Drive, this is 113 days on market. Say they missed it. Build 65, pretty similar size, a little bit larger, but these guys have been on forever. And I talked to them last week. Not getting a lot of action. So just real quick. I think they're getting like a couple showings a week kind of thing.
So when you speak to the listing agent, did he or she give feedback as to why it's sitting? What are people not liking? Oh, maybe that. Sorry.
You want me to be brutally honest? Or like, this is, what is that? That's incredible. Yeah. Enough said?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a project.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is someone's haphazard project that you're taking on. It's like, well, homeowner special, eh? So yeah, that's what 855 will get you. So it's probably worth 8, and they're just grinding. And here's a key. I say story and Siri hears me. Owner occupied, but there's also the suite downstairs, so it looks pretty rough. There's no suite. It's just the owners are living like that. So that's your point. So this one's a better comp. It's actually sold and 4.2 built 54, perfect square footage, double-ended it conveniently. So that kind of skews with the numbers a bit, just to make that clear, is that he may have given commission back. There may be some negotiation on price there, so that may not be totally accurate. So it's something to bring to people's attention. Yeah, he had Kramer on the wall.
when I was looking at the numbers from June up till now, it seemed like the bulk of the solds were between 800 and 949, and then there were 3 solds at 728, 742, and 780.
Yeah, those are all going to be land values under 800, I think.
That's right.
So this one's got a little bit of life left in it. I think, you know, they're promoting a lot, but it really is still a decent home that people will probably live in for 5 to 10 more years or rent out, whatever they need to do, and then it'll be primed to knock it down and put a new place on it. So, and it's got a view property too. So that's one of the things. Some of Bolivar Heights is like sitting right on the crest of the mountain, and you can really see out over the river and over New West and whatnot. So, yeah, keep that in mind. So 28 days, 1 photo. I'm gonna say it's tenanted. Yep. So we probably. Oh, this is Brent Roberts. He owns this place, so this is his actual. He's selling his own house. Carol can tell you how she feels about him and that strategy and a few other things, I'm sure, but she'll just chuckle in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the price is, it's in the market, I think, with the price, but it's tenanted and probably pretty rough, and it's mostly land value, but show it to him. It's not a true sold, so it doesn't really matter. So Swallow, 7 days on, built 64, same size and more or less bedrooms. Ooh, no. Do they take these photos off? I don't know. So there's only 1 photo there. We got 6 blanks. I've never seen that before. Offers November 29th. So we got showings this weekend. So actually, we'll keep an eye on that. Can figure out what happens with those guys, but they're definitely over. I don't think the value is there. We'll see if they go into multiples. But so 19 square feet sold, very good accurate size, and bedrooms 10 years newer. Listed 919 sold in 15 days. So this is a good comp for the last CMA I did as well. I think it looks nice. They did a good job in the kitchen. Probably similar to ours, Jason.
Okay.
Right, new lighting fixtures, new flooring. This is all hardwood flooring. Actually, it's original, but looks in good shape. New carpets.
If I may ask, with 14109 on the same street, 114th.
Yeah.
That was a maximum usage of that sort of lot. That's the sort of properties that are being built into the area. Would that have a factor?
I'd have to look at that after. Or yeah, sorry, you're gonna throw this whole thing off. If I go pull up that one, we'll go through this first, and then let me figure it out. I'll answer you. So this is a decent comp. It doesn't have all. It does have an unauthorized suite. It doesn't have all the. They have all new bathrooms and everything in here. So there's probably a little plus on top of this price with everything being new. It was a good comp to start. So 1/10 and sold 11 days. So 949 is down to 915. This is just a month ago. Good size square footage. Elvin bought it. Had a boy, tenanted and vacant. Yeah, this is a nice. Spot, not overly updated, but it's like clean. Let's see if I'm living here. It's a little rough for tenants. It's pretty good though, to be fair. Decent little suite. Washer dryer. Look at the same thing again. Yeah, so that's a good one. So it's over 9, and it's rough. Like it's not in great shape, but it did have a licensed suite, so that adds some significant value. How much? I can't tell you exactly, but I'd say $30,000 to $50,000, somewhere in that range, depending if it's legal and everything's been done. It's licensed, it's different. So the difference between legal is that it has like fire code, it has like solid wood doors and its own heating system, and like there's a bunch of things that have to happen for it to be truly considered a legal suite. License means they're paying this municipality taxes on it, so they're just collecting money, and the city's aware of it. That's the difference. But it does create value because you can use it against your mortgage. So this was built in '87, quite a bit newer, larger lot by 800 square feet. Just came on. Actually, I haven't seen this one yet. So new roof, shed, updates, new plumbing. Sure. It's tough. What do you take a photo of, the RV or the power line? New laminate floors, lighting, original kitchen, some updates in the bathroom. All right. Decent yard, decent square footage, eh? Bad. I like that big flat yard, but the house needs some love. We'll see. So 949. Keeping an eye on that. That's a good potential comp. This is a dog's breakfast, but we'll look at it anyways. It's a good comp in the size and the age and the square footage and everything, but it does have 66 feet of frontage, which means you could potentially subdivide in the future. 7,600 square feet. So been on for 51 days. They're all about land value, and it's tenanted, so not easy to show probably. And yeah, it's all about where it's at, so location. So I wouldn't even put it in there. So 110 is this the one you asked about? No. Jason, no? 110? Different one. So built in 57, 52, 73. So it's been on for 38 days. 22222. I wonder if that's accurate. Makes you want to get a floor plan done. So fair bit of work done. Cabinets, counters, appliances, flooring, paint. Do you have a basement suite? Yeah. So yeah, it looks like new floors and lighting and fireplace, and yeah, done a good job in there. This is a good comp, but it's not sold. So this is what could happen. Wow, it's a dirty door. Got the suite all done. Yeah, so this one's been on for a while though, so they've obviously overpriced it. Double check to see. I think I messaged her before. I don't think I heard back from her, so that might be one of the reasons why. Sometimes these people at this team, sometimes they don't always work full time. I feel. Just kidding. What happened here? Yeah. Well, I'll try her again, see if I can get some more message out of her, but I feel like it's probably a long shot. So. So I copy paste that, stick it in there. If I'm doing a bunch of these, then I'll just quickly flip it out, and usually guys get back some right away, some not. You kind of tell who's active or has nothing to do. Another active here. So 6'3", a little bit larger, same age. Good size square footage. Fully renovated. Let's rip through this real quick. So they're almost finished the renos. Nice job, good clean, light and bright. So they did a good job in the updates. Could have done that, but that's just a suite it looks like. So I stop somewhere, probably a smart move. Yeah, good space, new deck. So depending on, yeah, I'd keep an eye on this one, as it is a little bit larger, but it is a good comp, and it does have the suite that's all done nicely. But if they've, if they're able to get over $1 million, it definitely helps the situation with this other one. But they haven't sold in 25 days. Goldie, I can't remember if he responded to me or not. I don't think so. So it's kind of nearing the end of it here.
So did you include that 141.91 on 108th?
On 108, 147. That one, 108. Which one?
141.91 on 108. That was the one that's active right now at 949,000.
I don't have it in here. Is that one that you pulled up?
Well, I just made sure I pulled out, like they have one active in the area at 799,000 and another one at 949,000. Pretty slim on the amount of actives.
Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actives and a couple more to look at here. But these are going to be in the higher range. So there's enough actives, but I really want more solds, if anything. So this is built in 74, so it's 20 years newer. Same size, and bedrooms are good. 10 days on. Good. A little bit larger square footage. Looks like they've redone everything in July. New roof, pipes, windows, blinds, kitchen, floor, stairs, paint. So looks like a big, spacious curb appeal. Like good long, wide lot too. So yeah, good job in there. Terrible photos, are blurry as hell, but you get the idea. Like taken from an iPhone 4 or something. But whoa, that looks scary. What is that? Why does that exist? That's so weird. Come on down. It's like a kid's playhouse.
Probably they have an above ground pool right next to it. That could be like the access deck.
Oh, like jumping into there. That's exactly what it was.
You can see the patch of grass there. Yeah.
Good catch. Yeah. So now it's just like fall off. Yeah.
It's a death trap.
Yeah, bring your insurance money. Bring your lawyer. Oh, it's a diving board. That's even scarier.
But it's got nice new grass there, though.
It's amazing. Yeah. Look at that. So that needs to get deleted, but whatever. It's funny. Yeah, I could not pick that up. That's funny. Good eye. Yeah, so I mean, that's they're asking for the sky. It's decent upstairs and it's got some good value, but I think they're probably at least 50K over. Right. Yeah, this is quite a bit newer, and again, like active for 32 days. Not really a comp in that sense. It's just the age and everything. Roof, furnace, AC, hot water tank, bathrooms, sun deck. Yeah, so a fair bit done to it. I'm gonna rip through it because I don't think it's comparable in the sense of the size and the age. So this is a good example of like a 1987 build. Like this layout is way more functional for a family, right? Versus this build, which is like, hi, I'm a box. Come into my box, and then you can go to the left or you can go to the right. So people are, even with lots of lipstick, it's still the function of the layout. It really does matter. So I don't think you can expect this thing to sell over 1-1, but at the same time, it's a different animal than our subject property. And I can't tell you exactly how much, but there's definitely a value there, okay? So back to our list, we've got these checked. And now our average prices have adjusted. So listing at 916 is selling at 8888. 888666. Pretty. Very good in some cultures. Yeah, that's a tough. So days of market, I don't really switch around too much, but I would say with all the lipstick, you know, we're definitely sub 1 million. You're probably sub 950 still with the layout, and then probably over the 9 mark. So, you know, it's between 900 and 950, depending on how these updates work. Like if it was really good in quality and finishings and it felt like it was a brand new house, or it felt like they just stamped a bunch of new stuff on an old house, then you're gonna have to kind of get in there and get a feel for it. And then, so, you know, in the middle is 9.25, and you just say 925, and then 950 is a someday price. 900 is like, it's sold this week, right? And somewhere in the middle, you can kind of then carve it down as you get into that property. And again, I haven't seen it, and it's just kind of a very tough one, not knowing the true type of materials they use and that kind of, because there's so much value that's gone into this. They probably put almost 150K into it. So it could go up to like closer to 1 million if they're really nice high finishes, but they didn't. They put laminate counters and this kind of stuff. So I don't know. So we've got David was reaching for the stars, I think, at 1.2 million.
I think I did a search and I think I had the 2 kitchens put in.
Yeah, fair enough. So that would have added, let's say that adds 50 grand to it. So it puts you in the 1 mil mark at that. So.
Or I'm just jilted from my condo fiasco this week, and I think everything's worth $1 zillion now. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, like looking back at the spreadsheet, like everything's selling under asking, and there's, you know, what we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actives, and only 3 sold in the last 60 days. So everyone understands absorption rate. So if I go down to 1 month, just make it simple. Well, oh, sorry, let's do this. If there are 3 sales and 7 actives in 60 days, how long does it take for the market to absorb the inventory? It's a little bit more complicated than usual because there's 60 days.
So you're doubling it. So there would be 3 sales next month and then 3 sales the next month. So it'll be 6 sales will eat up 4 months of inventory, right? So sorry, I didn't explain that right. So 3 sales in 2 months and then another 3 sales in another 2 months should eat up 6 out of 7 listings, right? So just over. So you can say it's 4 1/3 of 2 months is 4 2/3 of a month in inventory. So that's the absorption rate. 4 2/3 of a month. Does that make sense? Let's do a simpler one so you guys understand the math. There are 5 active listings and there were 2 sales last month. How many months of inventory are there? How about 2 and 6? Real simple. 2 sales last month and there are 6 active listings. How many months of inventory is there? What's the absorption rate?
2 per month?
Yeah, 2 sales last month, and there are 6 active listings. So how many months will it take for all the listings to sell
3.
currently on the market?
3 more.
3 months. So that's the absorption rate. Okay. So with this situation, we have 3 sales in 2 months. So you have every 2 months, 3 homes will sell, and there are 7 active listings. So you will have 4 months, you'll have 6 sales, and there'll be 1 extra listing still available. So there's 1 sale per month. Sorry, 2/3 of a month is the difference. So it's like 4 2/3 of a month of inventory to eat up what's current. Got it? Confused as F? Great. It's simple when you use 1 month, but really it's never that simple. So you have to be able to just do the math and figure out, okay, well, there's 6 months of inventory right now. And it'll be clearer with a different scenario than this one. But, so looking back at our CMA training real quick, this is, so I think you have the 895, 935, and 899, and then you have them, so 895 selling 879 for Zayf and Neelam. Thank you. I think you're not far off there. It's very possible. I think Mickey, you're on the money. That's good. 935, 9 1/4. I think that's what I said. So within that realm, 899 Manvir. That's a good strategy and it sells fast. And I think Mickey, you might have longer days on market with your list price. And fair enough, Zayf and Neelam, it's hard to project that. This is a someday price here. This could be a couple of years, David. But
well, I'm trying to get them the most money. Like
David won the trophy for buying the listing. So that's what happens if you go in a competition. You tell them the price they want to hear. You bought the listing. So yeah, ding ding ding. So it's all good. Hey, appreciate you doing it. And hey, fair enough. Like there's always something to take away from that. And you saw value that other people didn't perhaps and looked at different properties, right? And so we may have looked at things completely different with a different style of search or having the unauthorized suites and the dates being different. So there were properties that were active in that price point at the list price you suggested. I didn't see any sales, but you're right. You're feeling the townhouse market you're playing in, and you're bringing it over to here, and so that's emotion. That's not you didn't see that 1.2 sale price anywhere. I don't think, to be fair.
No.
Yeah. So
Correct.
there you go. Yeah, and then just to point out to everybody, like the stats don't lie. Average is 28 days on market. So everybody's days on market, you've overpromised, right? And that's all I want to do is I want to set the expectation. I learned this from Mike Huber a long time ago. You got to tell your sellers a real time frame to sell. And here's how you get them into a really good pricing strategy is, do you want to sell your house in 30 days or do you want to sell it in 90 days and have people come to your house and do showings and pack up the kids and get the dog out and do all the cleaning? And then you really walk through the step by step of what it takes to get your house into showing order for an open house. You go, okay, so you're going to do that for 90 days until we get that price. So what's the pain of doing that, especially with people with like young kids and pets and all this other stuff? It's a nightmare. So I'm telling you, that's a great way to get people understanding that accepting the real true market versus let's try it. Let's try the market, right? So that's a important conversation to have, is not over promising on the days on market, giving them a really strong expectation of what it's going to take to sell their house, and what sells the house is price and condition, right? And everything else is up to the buyers. So what do you guys think? Any other questions? What are your takeaways from that? This is sharing time. You know, snack.
Okay, I have a question. If there was the kitchen actually hooked in and they got the suite all authorized, how would it change the numbers as we're looking at them now?
Would David get his 1.2?
Yeah, there you go. No, I think.
Thank you, best friend. Yeah.
I mean, what does it cost to? He said he didn't have cabinets or anything down there in this situation. I don't think so. What does it cost to run the electrical from the box, right? To get the 220, if the box can handle it. And let's say the box can't handle it, you're probably $3,000 to $5,000 to get an upgraded panel, and then you got to run the wire for $300 or something. So $5,000 for the panel and the wiring, just being as conservative as possible, and then you got 10 grand in cabinets and $3 grand in appliances and fixtures, another couple grand, say, for miscellaneous stuff in the kitchen, lighting, that kind of whatever. And then, you're probably 25 grand to be safe to put in that suite. But I think it probably gives you closer to 40 or 50 because people can apply for a mortgage and get more money. Right, so they can afford more house, and then it pushes you into, and the work is done for them. What's the stress of the work worth to people? Everyone wants turnkey, right? So I wouldn't overpromise more than 50, and anyone else can chime in. Carol, I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but
it really depends. Again, the size of the suite. Is it a 2-bedroom? Does it have a big rec room? Does it have the laundry down there? So all those things kind of. So it's, So Chris, you're 100% right. Depending on what you're putting in there is how you can value it.
I think you nailed it. The size of the suite, and this one's kind of in a below ground suite. It looks like, I don't know what the back's going to walk out to. So you're living in a bit of a cave, right? What's that?
It the downstairs, it walks out flat, so it's not below ground. And
yeah,
I should note that they do have a back lane. And if they upgrade the gravel in their back lane, the city will give them an extra parking spot. Mm-hmm. So they're 2 houses in, and they have a back lane. And so if the gravel in the back lane is just upgraded, the city will give them an extra parking spot and give them a little extra credit when it comes to the suite.
Right. Okay, so with the cost of the lane and everything, that's what we talked about too. Yeah. So with the suite, so shared laundry is obviously a cost versus having their own separate. Having above ground suite, that definitely has value. And this one is sort of semi above, but I think the bedrooms are going to end up being, if you look at the front of the house, it's like there's your bedroom window. That's not exactly like tons of light coming in, right? So kind of keeping that in within reason, and then what you expect it to rent for. So I think 40 is safe. No one overpromised though. So What was the other? You had a quick. You want to send me another property real quick, Jason, just to compare it to? What was the address?
No, unfortunately, I don't. As I said, I've just glitched out heavily here, but I've.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, it's noon, so you guys have hopefully taken away a little bit from today. Let's set some expectations for Monday's call. So who's talking to who this weekend? Who's got calls? Who's doing what activities? What are you guys going to go do to prospect or connect with people?
I have one client that I'm showing a house to, and then I'm going to do door knocking on Sunday.
Whereabouts?
White Rock.
Nice. All right.
That's where I'm showing the house, so it just made sense to do it in that area.
What are you knocking? What are you saying? You're muted.
Sorry, I'm going to go over some of the scripts again,
Mhm.
and then just go from there.
So just sold or just
Well, I did look at some of the expired listings in that area.
yeah, good.
I've got down the addresses and everything like that. So the rest of today is to go over and practice some scripts. And then I'll probably do some role playing, maybe just even with the kids, and then kind of hit the road on Sunday.
Good. Kids have lots of objections. All
Well,
right.
it's just want to get the flow going of the conversation, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, the best way to do it is to tape yourself. If you're, I mean, honestly, your kids will not be good to role play with. They'll go. They're squirrels, right? So, if you want to get better at scripting, the best way is to video. If not, then at least audio record, and then you hear your ums, you hear the pauses, you hear like the downswings. Did I ask a question when I was trying to tell them something? You know what I mean? So. Yeah, you use your audio recording on your phone and just read the script out, listen to it a couple times. You'll never do it. You'll never say the same thing again. You're like, oh, I hated that. I can't believe I just said it like that. And it works. So
I'll definitely try that.
good luck. Awesome. Who else? What's going on? Who's doing what? All at once. David, what are you doing?
I'm restarting the search with my clients that lost out the other night on multiple offers. And I think we've got another property that they're interested in. It's got the 2-dog strata thing that's been a challenge, and hope to get them in later tonight, if not tomorrow sometime.
Good for you, man. Okay.
Because I'm determined to get these guys a place because they're suffering. The folks that we lost on multiple offers on, was it Wednesday night? They had 6 offers apparently, and they took none of them, and then they jacked up the price by $30,000.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, it's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't do this on the call today, but I just want to recognize something real quick here, and we're going to do this every month. So, just because I said your name, David, I wanted to share. This was on the team office meeting yesterday. You guys can see my screen. Can you see it? Ooh. So we just want to recognize David. Yeah, sharp. Because you have been engaging a lot and showing up to all the class. I know you have your own challenges and you're working your tail off right now. You're contributing and offering good, constructive criticism to colleagues, being a great scripter with those guys and everybody you're working with. So thank you for connecting with everybody and bringing some good ideas today as well.
Oh, thanks very much.
Congrats for doing a great job and getting that offer accepted. I know you use the tools that we mentioned, the emotional letter, and negotiated well for your clients, and I'm sure they're happy. So well done, man. Congrats.
Awesome.
And
thank you.
Keep going. So we're proud of you. And
Great job, Dave.
we've got something at the office. If anyone ever goes to the office, we have a gift for you. So we'll get it to you whenever we can connect. I have it on my desk. So
right on.
yeah, if you're going in, let me know, and I'll have Laura give it to you. If not, let me know, and I'll come your way one day. All right. Who else is doing what this weekend?
I'm going to try for a half duplex listing and a little townhouse that's up for sale by owner. They tried a price reduction, it didn't work, and yet they've got a decent townhouse, and the half duplex has been totally renovated. So
cool. All right. Well, good luck. That's a FSBO?
Yeah, both of them are FSBOs.
Nice. All right. Good luck, man. Practice that FSBO script. If anyone needs to, would like to practice FSBOs, it is definitely the best way to sharpen your skills fast. So, yeah, good job going after it. Don't be afraid. They're real.
They've been actually quite pleasant. I should just mention that the preliminary conversations I had with them have been actually quite positive. I think right now it's sort of moving to the next point of actually just presenting them a serious option to stop with what they're doing, because they're obviously not succeeding on their own marketing plan.
It's just waiting them out usually. Just giving them, they get frustrated and eventually look to someone. And if you're there and you're just being a sympathetic ear and offering solutions and advice, then they will eventually just come to you. So, yeah. It's like the guy that's dating the hot girl and he's a loser. You just kind of keep being nice to her and eventually, you know what happens. You read that book. I don't know what it means. Anyway, with Monday, we have special guests to talk about FSBOs. So hopefully you guys can make sure we come on Power Prospect on Monday, because Trish has absolutely been murdering FSBOs for last year, and she's going to share some strategies of what she's been doing and how she's kind of created a niche as well. So I hope you guys can join us for that. We'll do a quick interview with her. And FSBOs are like the fastest source of a business opportunity, is what people name FSBOs as well, because you can really turn a listing out of a FSBO in like a day or two if you just happen to time it right, or just stay on top of them. So hope you guys can get some value out of that. Who else is doing what this weekend? Mickey, what are you doing? Oh, Zafe is going to chime in. Somebody, come on.
Yeah, I think for us, myself and Neelam, like I got my condo to prospect in, just kind of let everybody know. I sit on the Strata Council as well, so that'll be a good way to drum up some activity for sure. Get the command kind of database built up, right? So that'll be good. Do that this weekend. Same thing kind of with Neelam. I think she's looking to do that in her area. So I live in New West. She's currently in Delta, so kind of looking to do that in our respective areas and then bring it all together, right? Got the email from you with the script, so I know Neelam, both of us are going to kind of dive into that as well and kind of just arm ourselves. But yeah, really comfortable and ready to go, right?
Good for you, man. Yeah, I mean, if you're already living in the area, you know the neighborhood, you know the amenities that you're building, all this stuff, like that's a no-brainer. You got to farm your own neighborhood. So yeah, start there. Awesome. Everybody's got to know. Good luck.
Thanks.
Minivan Mickey.
Yeah, I'll be doing similar to what Zafe soon. Actually, I'm in a townhouse complex as well, and a lot of the neighbors know me. I've been on Strata Council for the last 8 years, so it's just a matter of going out, letting them know either through text or when I'm seeing them around. Like you said, door knocking is a little bit tough right now. We've got a lot of seniors in the complex, so making phone calls to them.
Okay.
And same thing with sphere of influence. Just trying to let friends and family know.
So you guys are doing the same thing. So when I used to live in my complex, I wrote a letter to all my neighbors and just delivered it to them all. And then I mailed it again, and then I just continued to follow up with them. So in the wiki site, it's a Dear Neighbor letter. I'll share it with you guys real quick just so you get the idea, and then I'll let you off this call. But keep talking, whoever's going next. What are your goals? Dylan, what are you doing, buddy? You're unmuted. You're muted.
In the chat, Dylan says that his mic's not working.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, real quick, you can see my screen, and then we'll get to you guys. This is the Dear Neighbor letter. This is an old one, obviously, but it's my old team logo and all that kind of stuff. But just want to make a connection. We moved in with our one son and also expecting a baby boy. This is like years ago, but tell a little bit of story about yourself up front and why you're, basically make sure that you have vested interest in making sure that their home sells for the most money possible as it increases overall value of our complex, why you're aware of all the benefits of the area, being a strong negotiator, whatever it is that you feel you want to stick in here. Take this, rip it off, duplicate it, make it yours, mail it out to people if you're in a condo, drop it off if you're in a townhome, and then you can do some sort of consistent follow-up program with the complex that you live in, or your neighborhood. If you live in a house, just go knock your neighbors, let them know what you do, right? But the most important thing is that you have a vested interest in making sure they get the most money possible. So even if they have a relationship with another realtor, that's the other part in the bottom there. It says, I still would love to offer you a second opinion. And I got a couple different second opinions, which actually turned into listings and then future business too. So I sold quite a few properties in that complex just because I was a neighbor and they knew I cared. And you see him, you wave him, the mayor of the complex. Right. Yeah. Anyone else? Ivana, what are you doing today? Tomorrow, this weekend, I should say.
Hi. Well, I have someone who is interested in listing their condo, so I need to go see it this weekend. And yes, the plan is to figure out web forms because I have not been able to do the initial setup.
Okay. Did you get it in the wiki site? You got it?
Yes, I tried to follow the steps in the wiki site, but the things it's telling me to click are not on my screen when I'm logged into web forms. So I'm not really sure what to do next as far as the web forms go.
What do you mean they're not on the screen?
Like when it says, hold on, I have the thing open. When it says, click on transaction templates and click add, I don't have a button that says transaction templates. There's nothing to add. I don't know if you see what I mean. Like it's, yeah. So I don't know if I missed a step somewhere. I mean, I'm able to go into the settings and make sure that the font is correct, like the first thing on the wiki site. I'm able to do that. That's all fine. But then for the rest of it, there's nothing there.
Okay, it's probably just a step in there that we've missed or needs to be edited or something. But you can join Carol's class on Tuesdays, or we talked yesterday. Sorry, you're not able to do that.
I can't do Monday to Wednesday at all, but the rest of the week I'm free anytime.
Okay. Well, Carol,
I did mention, Ivana, that I would call you later after my meetings and I can guide you through it. We talked earlier this morning.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you're sorted. Okay, perfect. Okay. Well, good luck with your listing, and then hopefully get those templates right away because that's important, and we'll get you sorted out. And then if you're still in trouble, I'll double check why that's reading the way it is. Maybe it needs to be edited. We'll figure it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. Thanks. Who else? Mandri, what are you doing this weekend?
I already mentioned door knocking and showing a listing.
You did in White Rock too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
You're
okay.
gonna kill it. Yeah, you're already like expired specialist. Okay, have fun.
Hoping to be.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Okay, Manpreet. Sorry. What are we doing?
Hi, yes, I haven't set up my document setting, and some of my templates I need to work on. And I have an interested buyer who's looking for an investment property. And going over some scripts that you sent. So little bit of everything.
Okay. Have you set up your web forms yet?
I did. I set up the templates for the buyers. I still have to do the listing one.
Okay. All right. Did you use the Google Wiki site link?
I did.
Okay. So, okay.
Yeah. There's a list of interesting stuff, which is really useful.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad to help. All right. Well, good luck this weekend. And I mean, yeah, if you get your DocuSign sorted, then you'll feel you can kind of transact quickly. And I'll double check that I want to make sure that does lead you in the right direction. Perhaps you might be in the wrong web forms. There's the legacy version and there's the new one too. So.
I had a web form class yesterday with the board. And few of the people did have a problem. Some of the tabs were missing. So they were advising to call the board and call the help desk. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I guess that's another step for you to help out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Well, good luck.
Thank
Maz,
you.
how are you doing, bud? What's your plans this weekend? Are you there still? Going once. TJ, how you doing, man? Are you still there? What's happening this weekend? Share your goals, your plans. Oh, this is getting painful for everybody. Okay, can tell the people that didn't pay attention to class because they're gone. They're ghosted. So we'll leave it at that. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to ask this because I have to relicense again. It's been a long time since doing this. Any suggestions on how to go through the process of getting my criminal background check done quickly? So I know I have to do that as part of the process. It's just been a long time since I've had to do that.
You have to do your criminal background again?
Yeah.
You just go to the courthouse, but are you just renewing your license? Or are you totally relicensing?
No, just renewing the license, but they told me that I had to get my criminal background check done again. Maybe it's
I'm not sure why they would tell you that.
Never heard of that either,
It
man.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Unless you committed a crime, did you?
Yeah.
That's why I find it unusual.
Well,
It
no,
is.
who's telling you that? The council?
Yeah.
That's not right.
I would call Lisa Kearns and ask her why, because she looks after the licensing. That doesn't
Lisa
make any sense. Lisa Kearns.
Okay.
KERNS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, no, it was, like you have to do all your licensing and so forth. So I've got most of that done, but I'm just trying to make sure I've got it done before, because I have to have it all finished before January 6th or something like that. We've got holidays.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Renewal is fine, but are you renewing after a 90-day? Is this what's happening? No, that just then it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, no, you're licensed right now. There's something wrong with that. Not to worry, you'll figure it out. I'd say that you don't want to wait time though, because of like the board being slow already. You have just over the holidays, just get it done sooner than later. All your PDP credits need to be up to date. Do not wait on that stuff, or your license will be on the shelf and you can't transact, and like that will cost you potential money. This is just for everybody's warnings. Make sure you get them done early. Don't have Carla bugging you in the last minute, because that means like I've seen people lose transactions and stuff because they're not licensed. So take it seriously, right? And it's just being proactive. Anyway, if anyone has anything, let us know. We're here for you for the weekend. If you have any active deals or live listings or whatever we can do to help out.
Hey, Chris, it's TJ. Sorry, my audio wasn't working before.
Oh, sorry, TJ head.
Yeah. For the weekend, I have a buyer, a family friend. They're looking for a lot, like a tear down. So just gonna be showing them a couple of property, and then I'm also thinking about doing some CMAs for my friends, and maybe bring those to next Friday's class to see kind of compare.
Okay.
And I was just wondering, could you share the wiki site link?
Yeah, it should be. Do you know you were not sent it, or what?
No, I didn't receive it. No.
Okay. Dylan's doing a small business vendor list. Good job, Dylan. There you go. There's the link, but I'll add you, TJ. Have you signed the coaching contract, TJ?
Yeah, I have.
You're in there, yeah. So that's weird. I'm not sure why not then. Okay. Do I have your email? Okay. Well, I'll send it to you now. Does anyone else have anything I can help out with? Or need anything? Feeling good? Feeling strong? Feeling enthusiastic? Smile. Have a good weekend. Go Hawks.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
All right.
you.
Chris.
Yeah, certainly. Have a good day. See you soon.